I spent over 250 grand on real estate courses. Half of it was absolute gold. The other half was trash and a complete waste of money. And here's the thing. The biggest wins I've had came directly from lessons I learned from those courses. Those lessons helped me build a portfolio of over 1,000 rental units, generate 980 grand in assignment fees in just 12 months, and walk away from my six-figure corporate job so that I can control my time. But here's the challenge. When you're stuck and you're out there looking for answers, how do you know which course is worth that investment and which ones are going to be a complete waste of money? That's why I'm making this video. So you don't get sold on a program that you don't need. And if you've already been burned, you don't get burned again. You already know that knowledge is the key to creating the life that you want. You're chasing that pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. You want this desired outcome, but it's not easy. It's like putting together a giant jigsaw puzzle, and you need all the right pieces in the right places. And each piece is a skill or an insight or a strategy. And the question is, how do you collect the right pieces without wasting a lot of money along the way? And that's what I'm going to show you in this video. So by the end, you'll have a clear 3-part filter that you can decide when to invest and when to skip. So I like to group these puzzle pieces into one of 3 categories. The first being techniques. So these are the technical strategies, like how to wholesale, flipping houses, doing the BRRRR method, buy and hold, all the things. I used to think that I had to know everything before I got started. So I bought nearly every course that was out there, spent a ton of money, and here's what I learned. You only need one proven model that works for you and your situation. The tricky part here is most strategies can work, but do they align with your goals? Do they match the picture on the front of the box that you want to build? So the mistake people make is buying a general course when you actually need specific solutions to your problem. So for example, you don't need a full course on setting up an LLC or this elaborate asset protection system. You can pay an attorney a few $100, or you can search up a quick YouTube video on how to do it yourself. Same with building a website. As a real estate investor, that's not where you want to spend all your time learning and building a website from scratch. Sometimes you don't need a course at all. What you need is a done-for-you service that's much more affordable. But here's where a course is valuable: when you're learning the fundamentals of finding and structuring real estate deals. This is the core knowledge that you must know yourself, like learning the alphabet or your times tables when you're in grade school. You can piece together all this knowledge yourself for free on YouTube University, but the problem is you'll be curating and organizing and filtering everything yourself, and that takes a lot of time. Or you can pay for a curated course that delivers it all in one place and in the right order. And that can be worth an investment. Just remember, no single course will give you every puzzle piece that you need. You'll have to collect them over time and fill in gaps as they reveal themselves. So maybe you know how to analyze deals and you know how to make offers, but you don't know yet how to raise capital. So boom, new gap. The insight here is don't wait until you know everything before starting. So you want to identify a gap, find the solution that provides the one puzzle piece that you need right now. The picture will become much clearer as you go, but here's the catch with most courses. You rarely get access to the expert. Courses are a do-it-yourself model, so you don't get to talk to the expert. And that takes us to category number 2, which is access. And access means that you get time with the expert to ask your questions and you get advice tailored to your unique situation. So maybe that's direct coaching, maybe that's an introduction to their network. And this can be very powerful because you get guidance from someone who's already done it before and can help you follow in their footsteps. And that's why I always have mentors myself. Right now, I have 3. In fact, I have a mentor on how to do YouTube videos. Now, sometimes students feel like they've been burned by gurus. So either the expert overpromised and didn't really deliver what they said they would, or the student expected some sort of magic result without putting in the necessary work to get the result they wanted. There are definitely gurus out there who are not delivering what they're promising, or they just suggest kind of unrealistic results. But in my experience, most of the courses that I've taken provide the information that they promised. Where I have been burned is when my expectations were misaligned with what they were delivering. So one of the questions that I now ask is, what do you not do that sometimes people assume you do? And so this can solve some of that expectation issue. So for example, oh, I see, you don't get on the phone with brokers and the sellers and negotiate for me and with me. Got it. So once you're on the same page on what you include in the access, you've got to trust the process and do the work that they assign. So what's the benefit of mentorship? Well, you get answers to your specific questions. And sometimes, more importantly, a mentor will challenge you. They'll say, hey man, like stop giving sellers everything that they ask for. Stop letting the brokers push you around. So what they do is they expose the puzzle pieces that you're missing. So let's use an example of Michael Jordan. So early on in his career, he kept getting beat up by the Pistons in the playoffs. So he hired a strength coach during the offseason, and he added 20 pounds of lean muscle. And the next year, he won his first of 6 championships. So he already had the talent. He needed the next missing piece. And he put in the work in the offseason and put on a bunch of weight, got stronger. So same goes for you. When you invest in a mentor or a program, you've got to show up and do the reps. And so let's move on to the third category, which is software, tools, and resources. These help you gather data, automate tasks, and stay organized. So think of things like, the auto dialers that make calls faster, or analysis tools that run the numbers for you, checklist and SOPs and templates, all these resources. But here's the trap. You want to avoid expensive, overly sophisticated tools that are not designed for you. They're designed for advanced investors. So you don't need that right now. I've wholesaled hundreds of properties, and I made over $1 million in assignment fees using nothing but Google Sheets and a free Asana account. I didn't have any fancy CRM. I wasn't spending $10,000 a month on a really high dollar ad budget. So if you're starting out, keep it simple. Get proof of concept in place before investing in a complicated tool or an expensive marketing plan. So in entrepreneurial circles, they talk about the MVP, the minimum viable product. And the simplest form of a product is so they can determine if that product has product market fit in the marketplace. So in our case, we want to think of a MVB, a minimum viable business. So you want to earn your first dollar as fast as possible and as simply as possible to confirm that you know how to make money in the marketplace. So you want to use the income you make from deals to then fund these tools and automation systems once you get there. You see, empires are not built in a day. They're built brick by brick, and you just want to go out there and select the right puzzle piece. So here's the 3-part filter that I promised you to help you evaluate your future investments in courses or mentorships. So any sort of course or mastermind or mentor, they're not going to save you from you. Right? No one is going to build your portfolio for you. So you have to collect the puzzle pieces yourself. So use this 3-part filter by asking these questions. Number 1, does this solve a specific problem that I have right now? Does it help me overcome the current obstacle that I'm facing and that would get me to the next level? Number 2, does this expert have proof that they've done it before? Do they know what they're talking about? Have they actually done this recently? And do they have case studies that show that they've been successful? Number 3, does the solution remove the bottleneck that I'm currently facing and move me closer to my desired outcome? You see, the best programs that I've ever invested in gave me 2 things: a foundation in real estate knowledge and a specific tactic to solve my immediate problem. Then my mentors helped me see what the next level might be. Where is the gap that I haven't seen, and push me to that next level. And that's how I built a business that afforded me the lifestyle that I wanted, where I have time, location, financial freedom. If you want that too, you can check the link in the description. Inside of my community, I've got a complete A to Z course on starting commercial real estate from scratch that's completely for free that will help you map out the puzzle pieces that you need. And make sure and watch this next YouTube video that I've queued up for you. It breaks down how your first deal can be so simple. I'll share 3 action steps that you can take right now, even if you're starting from scratch. I hope you enjoy.